Hey everyone, this is just kind of a quick update video because I have not made a video in quite some time and I really should get back to doing that. Especially because I have the new computer and everything, but I've just been kind of slacking on videos or really just anything. I haven't even done that much on Twitter, which is kind of surprising. Like, I retweet stuff and I tweet sometimes, but it's like, overall, I haven't been doing that much on, well, the internet. Which is really, really weird. Like, I obviously have been playing games and stuff, but, I haven't really been, like, using my computer as much as I normally do. And that's mainly because I've been getting back into Smash Bros. The way I used to play it back when, because, call me a scrub, and by scrub I mean a certain person I know will comment scrub in the comments, or whatever, or first, or something like that. But anyways, so yeah, like, I've been playing Smash the old, classic way, the way Sakurai intended. 4 players with items on stages, on non-flat stages. That's the way Smash, at least for me, is the funnest way to play. Because I have played Smash Bros. For a year and a half straight. One-on-one, Final Destination, no items. And that's gotten stale very quickly. Okay, well, maybe not very quickly, but like, I've played it for so long that way, I wanted to go back to the way I used to play Melee and Brawl. I played Melee and Brawl, with items on random stages with stage hazards. I played different modes. It was a lot more fun that way, and I've been going back to playing that because during the 4th of July, some of my brother's friends came over, and we were all playing, like, we were playing 4 and 5 player Smash with items, and it was a lot of fun. Like, it reminded me of how fun Smash Bros. Is when you play it the way Sakurai intended. As Sakurai said from the beginning, Smash Bros. To him is a party game, not a competitive fighting game. And I definitely still think that's the way Smash Bros. Is at least designed. It's designed to be a fun party game. Don't get me wrong, competitive can be fun. It's just, I've played it so much. Like doing competitive every once in a while, or like in between or something like that's fine, but I have played competitively, like one-on-one Final Destination so many times since Smash 4 came out that I'm like, okay, I want to go back to the way I used to play Smash. The way that was honestly a bit more fun than doing one-on-one. I'll still play one-on-one, it's just, like doing with items and stuff like that. Anyways, points, I've been playing a lot of Smash Bros. The way I enjoy playing it the most. And because of that, I haven't really been playing, or I haven't been using my Xbox at all. It's just been sitting up here for like a week and a half, and I've barely used it. I know in my last video, the name change video, I stated how much most of that video was a Xbox One rant pretty much, and I don't want to make it out that way because the Xbox One, the problem isn't the console, it's the fact that developers aren't optimizing for it. I may or may not have said this in that previous video, but just a really quick thing about that. Basically, I think what I was talking about was like how games like Advanced Warfare run at higher resolutions and higher frame rates, but then the sequels or the next installments don't run as well, and that's because of lazy optimization. Because, if I play a game like GTA 5, that runs perfectly. Whatever. Okay. No more just ranting about different things. Let's actually go into, stuff I want to talk about. Anyways, yeah. I want to give off a negative image on the Xbox One, because I do like it. When the console works the way I want it to work, it's amazing. It's really fun. But I'm sorry, I'm just sensitive to the resolutions and frame rates. And you can honestly blame the fact that I've been building this PC over here. Because now I've just been caring a lot more about the frame rate and the resolution than I probably should. It's made the 3DS unplayable for me for the most part because of the super low resolution of the 3DS. And that's why I think that Nintendo... See, Nintendo doesn't need a new console, they need a new handheld. The console is fine, they just need a new handheld in my opinion, because the handheld is outdated as hell, to be frank. I mean, what? The thing is from 2011 and it shows. The thing is 5 years old. The resolution is like 240p or something like insanely low, and it really bothers me. Okay, enough ranting, let's get on to something positive, or just stuff we want to talk about. First things first is, a few days ago was actually the 1-year anniversary of my channel. Back in, July 7th, 2015 was my first video on this channel. and it was an intro video, and I need to update that video. It's really outdated, but I can't. I'm probably too lazy to make a new one, to be honest with you. So I'll probably just remove it or something like that, because I don't want to have that intro video up there anymore. And once they remove it, I'm gonna remove it from the channel. I'm just gonna like make it like I'm not gonna have it pinned as like the channel trailer or something like that. If that makes any sense. Like the video will still be there if for some reason you want to watch it, and you just scroll back far enough into my videos, and you'll find it. It's the very first video, but I don't want it pinned as the channel trailer video anymore. I don't want that. Anyways, today is also July 11th, the day that Iwata died last year, and I was watching a lot of those old like tribute we're not calling them old, but those like tribute videos that came out last year, and I'm not gonna lie, man, I almost like cried on some of them. Like, you get really emotional when you watch those. I was also watching like the GDC Satoru Iwata like 1 hour like press thingy from 2005. That's the one where he made that famous quote of, what was it? Dang it, I forgot. Oh yeah, on my business card, I am a game developer. Wait, no, dang it. It's on my business card. I am a corporate president. In my mind, no, dang it. I'm screwing up so badly. You know which one I'm talking about. Like, that one of his most famous lines. What was, okay, no, it was, on my business card, I am a corporate president. In my mind, I am a game developer. But in my heart, I am a gamer. I probably just butchered that so badly, but you like that. That's my. Well, actually, I could probably do a better impersonation of that. But that famous line, along with games are meant to be meant to be fun for everyone. Like his famous lines. Oh man, it really makes me wish that Iwata was still here, because that's probably another reason why I feel like Nintendo's been a lot more negative. I think Iwata was always a shining beacon of light almost for Nintendo. He was the face of Nintendo for a long time. He was the face of Nintendo Directs. One of the reasons that I always enjoyed watching them. And we've actually not had that many. We've only had 2 Directs. 2. The one in November and one in March. I'm not going to count the Treehouse event, and I'm not going to count the Pokemon Direct or any of those little small Cordyceps Direct or whatever in Japan. We've only had 2 major worldwide Directs since then. And you can tell that they aren't the same. Don't get me wrong, they're still hyped. They're still really hyped. They're still cool, but they're not as good. I don't know. Directs just aren't the same without Iwata. Without his classic, hello everyone, this is Satoru Iwata from Nintendo. And his, please take a look. And like the screen fades to black. I don't know. I miss those a lot. Especially after watching some, I watched like some of Etika's old, direct reaction videos, and when I saw Iwata on there, I'm like, oh man, it's real, yeah. It's just, yeah. Really is unfortunate he's gone, but of course, he also isn't coming back. And right now, Nintendo's looking toward a potentially bright future, with the recent release of Pokemon Go taking over the internet and the entire world, pretty much. Have you seen the posts online from stuff like KFC, the U.S. Marines official Twitter account? Yeah, I'm serious. I'm pretty sure there was like some one that worked for the FBI that posted something on Pokemon Go. Like, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. I am not even... It's literally everywhere. That's definitely been a big positivity boost for Nintendo and their image, which is nice, but I'm not keeping my hopes up, because this is probably just a temporary thing, like with Miitomo. When Miitomo came out, that was big stock boost. Nintendo boosted, the shareholders were happy, and then a week later, Miitomo basically died. And chances are that's what is going to happen with Pokemon Go. Not as fast, because Pokemon Go is an actual game, whereas Miitomo is more of a social communicator. But still, within a month, that game is going to be dead. Just saying. I'm predicting that now. But the big thing is, of course, and the big question mark is the NX. The NX could either boost Nintendo, It could bring them back or it could kill them. It's one or the other. There's not really a middle ground. Because last time around, the Wii U was basically middle ground. Because here's the big problem I think I've seen. I think the big reason the Wii U didn't do well was a few reasons. One, the name. You know, that whole thing about how, like, for the first 2-something years, people thought it was an add-on for the Wii and stuff like that. Second, the price. Even I will admit, the Wii U is not worth $300. It's like $200. Like the price of a 3DS. I think that's when then the Wii U would be worth of that price. Even the 8 gig model, I think, 8 gig model. I mean, think about it. I'd rather just get games on disc. I don't know about you. On my Xbox One and of course PC, it's all digital pretty much. But for Nintendo games, I like having a physical disc. I like having an actual box copy of the game, especially if it's a limited edition. Like I know, at least in Europe, there's a lot of limited edition Zelda stuff because like Europe gets a lot of limited edition bundles. And of course, that's Europe, not here, but still. But anyways, yeah. So the NX. Now, surprisingly, there hasn't been like a single leak in like a month for the NX. And I think Nintendo might have just finally killed those last few leakers and basically have tightened down the NX so no one's going to know about it until its official reveal. I mean, granted, none of the leaks were ever really concrete. The only person I trust for leaks is Emily Rogers. She's a person on Twitter that has leaked numerous things, and so far she's been pretty much right on everything. She leaked that there would be a new Paper Mario game, and for better or for worse, there was a new Paper Mario game announced. For most people, it's for the worst, but hey, whatever. The point is, she was still right. The only thing that people are worried about now is the fact that she hinted at Mother 3. And of course, everyone expected that at E3. But the entire idea of it being at E3 was my thought that if they brought the Nintendo World Championships back, that they would, well, show that off during then. But they didn't. They didn't talk about any of the events at all. I still think that 11.0 is unhackable. Yeah, I'm screwed. In other news, my 3DS is now screwed because guess what? My brother updated my 3DS, which means that none of my hacks work, which means I just lost all my stuff, which means I am basically screwed. At least I'm pretty sure I'm screwed, which means I'm going to have to contact Nintendo and see if I can get my Nintendo Network ID stuff moved over. Because honestly, I'd rather just get all my stuff back and not even worry about the hacking. If anything, I'll buy a separate 3DS for hacking. I don't trust putting on my main one. Anyways, so what was I saying? Dang it, I forgot. Like, what was I saying when I talked about the 3DS? Oh yeah, the leaks, the Mother 3. Emily even re-clarified that she never said it was going to be at E3. She just said it would be in 2016. And honestly, I'm inclined to believe her. She is probably the one leaker I actually will believe. One, because she's been mostly correct so far. She's basically been correct so far in everything she's told us. And if they're going to do Mother 3 anytime, it's going to be now. Because this is the 10-year anniversary, 2016. They missed the actual anniversary date, which was in April. But they still got a whole 6 months of 2016. And I do think Mother 3 will either be on the Virtual Console by the end of the year. I actually think there's a chance they might even put it on the NX, which is weird because it's like, I don't know why, but I just have a feeling that would be a good idea if they put it on made like an NX Virtual Console. Anyways, point is, Mother 3, I still think that's gonna happen. And if it doesn't, whoopity-doo, we have the fan translation, we can still play it. Anyways, so yeah, we haven't had that many leaks for the NX, and that's a good thing, because I don't want to know about the NX. All I want to know is, now also, I think in the past I've been talking about how it's a bad idea that the NX might not be super powerful, especially when Reggie said we're not competing for that. Well, after because I've heard that people say this, and that I can kind of see why. I've been really thinking, would I really buy third-party games on the 3D on the NX? even if they were the best running console version, like let's say by some magic it's as powerful as the Neo and the Scorpio, would I still buy it on the NX? No. Why wouldn't I buy it on the NX? Simple, because I am going to have a gaming PC by then. So why would I want to play it on console? Same for PS4 or Xbox One or their upgrade iterations. Why would I play any game that's available on PC on console if I can just play it on PC? With higher settings, higher resolution, higher graphics, mods, more control options, etc. Because it's easier to stream. I buy Nintendo consoles for one thing and one thing only. Nintendo games. And that was the biggest problem the Wii U had. There was too much of a gap between big Nintendo releases. Now, I will give him some slack on one thing, because Miyamoto himself said the biggest problem why the Wii U didn't have a ton of software that fast is because they had a lot of difficulty developing games in HD, and they didn't know it would take that long. So I will at least give him an excuse for that, or at least for games like Smash Bros. That are huge and take years to develop. But that, because like, there's like new games on the 3DS like every single freaking day. There's nothing on Wii U. Now, another reason why there's not stuff on Wii U, because obviously the NX is coming out. But you can't just leave your current Wii U owners hanging. At least make like a 3DS port USB thing so we can play our 3DS games on the big screen without all the stupid low resolution of the 3DS or something, or I don't know, I guess it would upscale it, but still. There's also probably why the 3DS gets more games. One, it's simply sold more. I mean, let's be real here. Nintendo's going to make more games with a system that sells more. And the fact that the 3DS is easier to make games for because the hardware is less advanced, if that makes any sense. Even the new 3DS. And the screen isn't like HD, so you don't have to worry about making super high resolution textures. It's pretty simple to make games. Making a game on the 3DS is basically like making a PS2 game in widescreen on a small screen or whatever. Because basically the 3DS is about the capabilities of the PS2 or the GameCube or the original Xbox, you know, a 6th generation console. And that's... So, obviously, it's a lot easier for Nintendo to make games than the 3DS, which is why there's always new ones, like, all the time. But the problem is that they aren't supporting the Wii U. I'm not asking for a huge game. I'm not asking for freaking Super Mario Sunshine 2 or something like that. Like, I'm asking just for, I don't know, more DLC. That's all I really want. More Mario Kart DLC. More Smash DLC. More Splatoon DLC. More Mario Maker DLC. All I want is DLC. Because at this point, the games don't need new versions. They just need DLC and more content. Which is one of the reasons why we don't need a Smash NX. We don't need like Smash 5. We don't need a whole new game. Because Smash 4, at least for me, is perfect. It doesn't need to be improved upon. It has 8-player Smash, a crap ton of characters, a ton of stages. It's pretty much perfect. All it needs is more content. The mechanics are fine, it's just the content. Add like Inkling, or more stages, or add tournament mode offline, or something like that. Just add more DLC. That's all the game needs. It doesn't need anything else, just more DLC. Just more content. It doesn't need a new version. Same for Mario Kart. Just make Battle Mode DLC, add some more characters, and boom, the game is perfect. Splatoon, actually, no. Splatoon I'll give it an exception for, because my biggest problem with Splatoon is actually the graphics. They're not bad, but they're definitely, yeah, it's definitely the worst looking game of the bunch. Once again, it doesn't look bad, but it is the worst looking game. Mario Kart 8 had that awesome bloom lighting. Smash Bros. Ran at 1080p 60 with big stages. Splatoon runs at 720p 60 with no anti-aliasing, and the game looks like it was a Xbox 360 game. Which, to be fair, makes sense. I mean, the Wii U is basically just a souped-up Xbox 360 in terms of capabilities, but Mario Kart 8 looks way better than Splatoon, and they can't make a game that looks like that? I don't know. Okay, well, to be fair, Splatoon is a shooter. They need to have that fast frame rate, so If sacrificing polygons and sacrificing resolution and stuff like that, I'll agree that's worth it. And Splatoon still looks pretty good. It just doesn't look as good as Mario Kart or Smash Bros. But Splatoon on NX. And by the way, I don't think they're going to port Splatoon over. I think they're just going to make a whole new Splatoon, like 2, for example. 1080p 60, better graphics, way more weapons, more maps, a better single-player mode. Oh, and how about like an Octoling survival mode? That'd be pretty cool. Like I've heard, like kind of like think like Call of Duty Zombies, but with Octolings. How cool would that be? I would totally play that. Like, you know, a wave-based thing like COD Zombies, but with Octolings. Yeah, that'd be a pretty cool idea. I would totally do that. I would totally live stream that. I don't know. Splatoon basically just needs more weapons, I think. More weapons, a better way to access different modes. Battle Dojo needs some overhauling, and basically a longer single player, and I think they're basically perfect. I'm sure Splatoon 2 is going to be a big improvement over its predecessor anyway, but, you know. Still kind of sucks that Splatoon's kind of, like, ending. Not, like, ending, like you won't be able to play it anymore, but, like, there's not going to be any new content. The last Splatfest is coming soon. Callie versus Marie, and by the way, I am on Team Callie, just for the record. And here come the Marie fanboys in the comments. Just kidding. Yeah, like that's gonna happen. Anyways. So, yeah. Splatoon is basically ending. Smash Bros. Ended in February. Mario Kart ended a long time ago in May of 2015. And Mario Maker isn't really getting any new costumes. Or just any new gameplay content. Because I think Nintendo has basically wrapped up their main Wii U games. And they're either going to port them over, in the case of, say, Smash Bros., or release their sequels, like Splatoon 2, on NX as like launch titles, or at least pretty close to launch. And I think if they do that, the system will sell. Because the biggest reason to buy a Wii U right now, if you really want to waste your money right now, to be honest, if you really want to throw away $300 on a console that's about to be obsolete, Smash Bros. Is the reason to do it. Smash Bros. Is the only reason I've always said to buy a Wii U. Like, there's plenty of good games like Splatoon and Mario Maker, like, for example, but Splatoon, Mario Maker, Xenoblade, Super Mario 3D World's actually pretty decent. It's not Galaxy or anything like that, but it's decent. Anyways, but yeah. Smash Bros. That was always my reason. Like whenever people say, why should I buy a Wii U? I'll be like, Smash Bros. Smash Bros. Splatoon. Smash Bros. Smash Bros. Splatoon. Smash Bros. Splatoon. It was always those two games in particular because they're that good to buy a system for. The problem is that a lot of people, and I can see why, because I know there's people that have been like wanting a Wii U, and they basically all but stopped doing that the second the NX was kind of like, basically like, yeah, we're moving to NX. And I would still say so because, okay, I probably just sounded really confusing there, but basically, unless you really, really, really need to play Smash Bros. Wii U or Splatoon right now, wait, don't buy a Wii U. It's not worth it at the current price tag. If they make like a Wii U Mini for like $100, $150 like they did with the Wii, then yeah, that's totally worth it. But for the moment, it's basically just wait for NX. There's no point wasting your money on a system that isn't worth it at $300. $200 or less, absolutely, but $300, that's too much. So maybe if you get like a used Wii U off of like Nintendo's World site or GameStop or eBay or whatever, then sure, but yeah. Point is, most people just wait for NX. The NX is going to be more than likely backwards compatible with the Wii U anyway, and if it won't, they're going to port over some of the bigger games like Smash Bros. And Splatoon, for example. But the big thing is that even though I'm not going to be buying the NX for third-party games, because that's what we have PCs for, and that's what I'm going to be playing all my third-party games on. Basically, once I get my graphics card, I'm going to third-party games are going to be on PC from here on out. The console still needs to be capable of running games at like 1080p at decent frame rates. If it's on par with at least a PS4, I think they'll be fine. At least the PS4. They cannot go the Xbox One route. Now, granted, the only reason the Xbox One was weaker than the PS4 is because Don Matrick, in his infinite wisdom, thought that the Kinect was super important and it needed to be included with every Xbox One. So, because of that reason, they had to skimp on the GPU a little, and I've seen the effects of it, because 900p and 720p on the bigger games. See, I know there's people that are like, oh, most games run at 1080p. Yeah, but none of the big games run at 1080p. Like, not even Call of Duty runs at 1080p. Battlefield doesn't run at 1080p. None of those games run at 1080p. Assassin's Creed does not run at 1080p. Like, you see my point here? Like, you need to have that 1080p locked down. Whether or not you care if it's 1080p or not isn't the point. It's all about public perception. If the console isn't capable of 1080p, people are just going to be like, well, why should I buy this weaker console that only has that, won't run my games as well as the PS4 or, like, the Neo or this console that my friends all have that can run the games better, so why wouldn't I just buy that? See, Nintendo needs to be at least on par with the PS4, but I think they're going to go a little higher than that. Not even Neo, because, okay, let's compare this via teraflops. The Xbox One is 1.3 teraflops. The PS4 is 1.8 teraflops. The Neo, I think, is 3.5 to 4 teraflops, and the Scorpio is 6 teraflops. I think the NX will be somewhere between 2.0 and 2.5, because it's got to be more powerful in the PS4. So I'm saying 2.0 absolute minimum, which would still be more powerful in the PS4, which means it could run games at 1080p, so the whole third-party thing wouldn't really be a problem. If anything, the big thing they need to do is make their online infrastructure better. Like, have party chat, have messages, have, I don't know, a modern freaking thing. Like, Xbox, PlayStation, and PC have had it for years. And even though I use Skype and Discord to talk to people, not everyone wants to do that. People just want to be able to press an invite button on their controller and then just talk to people. They don't want to use a third-party application like I do. If the NX can fix the online infrastructure, have enough powerful hardware, keyword is enough. Obviously, we all know from that Reggie interview they're not going to go full hog like everyone else, like the other consoles are. But if they're powerful enough, like at least as powerful as the original PS4, and they get the full third-party support with all the DLC, no cuts, no bad ports, no nothing, like full real support, they'll be fine. The games will sell, the system will sell, and Nintendo will be fine. But I mean, the system has to be at least capable. Even if most people don't buy third-party games, it has to be at least capable of running them. Because I mean, I've seen games, recent third-party games, like I think Bandai Namco actually had a game called what was it called, Project Treasure. I think it got an official name, but I know it's Project Treasure. Those games' frame rate dips are so bad, and then you wonder why developers don't make games for the Wii U. It's not powerful enough. See, for the first 1 or 2 years, the power of the Wii U didn't really matter because most developers were still making games for the 360 and PS3, which is in the same hardware capabilities wise of the Wii U. So making Wii U ports was easy. But now that everyone's on Xbox One, PS4, PC, no more old gen, the Wii U is simply you can't make games for it. Unless it's an indie game or a small game, but you can't make the big, games with a ton of physics and stuff like that, or CPU rendering or whatever. You get my point. Point is, if the NX is capable enough, that'll be fine. But the big thing that broke the reason why the Wii U didn't sell was because of the name. At least I think that's the biggest reason why. Because when it first came out, no one unless you were a hardcore gaming fan or whatever, and you actually know this kind of stuff. But if you're just a casual gamer, you didn't know what the Wii U was. You're was it a new console? Was it an accessory? And if it was an accessory, why is it $300? This isn't worth it. I'm not buying it. If the NX is called the NX, if that's its final name, which I am 100% certain it's going to be called. People said it won't, but I don't know. NX is ubiquitous. When we think of Nintendo's next console, we think NX. They should just call the console Nintendo NX and leave it at that, because that's what everyone knows the console as. There won't be any confusion. It's not Wii anything, which is the biggest problem with the Wii U, is that it was called Wii something. And Kineshima himself said this will not be a repeat of the Wii and the Wii U. Now granted, that doesn't automatically guarantee anything, because Nintendo doesn't exactly have a good track record with keeping their promises, but here's to hoping. hopefully Nintendo's next console, whatever it ends up being, whatever the NX ends up being, will be enough for it to actually sell well. And if it sells well, people will stop hating on them. Because that's my biggest problem, is that the Wii U has made Nintendo so negative, or made people's perception of Nintendo so negative that it's bothered me. Since E3 2015, all of her is negativity about Nintendo, and that's been really bothering me, because every time I bring up Nintendo or any Nintendo game, they're like, the first thing I hear is like, oh, the Wii U sucks, those games are garbage. And then when I bring it up, then when I ask them, okay, what's your problem with the Wii U? Get this. Here's the biggest response. Oh, it doesn't have any of the games I like to play, like Call of Duty or GTA or Assassin's Creed. You see, this is where the whole like third-party thing matters, because the biggest reason why people won't buy a Wii U, aside from the name, like just the console and the games, because everyone knows it's the Wii U at this point. Like in 2016, we all know it's the Wii U. Everyone knows it's the Wii U. Why aren't people buying it? Because they're not going to buy a system for like one game. I'll do that because I'm a hardcore Nintendo fan that will buy like basically anything that comes out. Okay, actually, that's not true. There's a lot of games in the Wii U I haven't gotten yet, like Pokken Tournament and Twilight Princess HD. I also want to get Xenoblade, Yoshi's Woolly World, among some other older ones. But anyways, I'm a hardcore Nintendo fan, so I'll buy whatever Nintendo. Basically, if there's a new Nintendo system, I'm gonna buy it. There's no question. But not, of course. What if like you're not a huge Nintendo fan? You didn't grow up on Nintendo like I did, and you grew up on like PlayStation or Xbox, and then you look at the NX and you're like, ooh, Smash Bros looks fun, but I don't feel like spending $300 just to play Smash Bros. Which is another reason why I almost think it's a good idea Nintendo should just go third party, because if they went third party, then we could just enjoy the games. We won't have to complain about the system. Because I want to get to the point where we can stop caring about the system and we can start caring about the games. Because everyone's complaints about the Wii U is about the Wii U itself, not the games. No one's complained about Smash Bros. Or Splatoon or any of the games on the Wii U itself. It's all the console. It's all the console. So if we can eliminate the console part of that, we can just care about the games. Because that's what gaming is. It's about the games. But we care way too much about the hardware, and I'm not going to lie, I kind of do. Hence the whole PC thing with resolutions and whatever. But if the Xbox One, PS4, and NX could run every game at 1080p 60 FPS with crossplay, absolutely zero difference between any other version except for the controller, would anyone really care? No, because that's the biggest. That's the whole reason why the Xbox One has got so much flack. It's literally the exact same thing as the PS4, except that's lower resolution. And now that every Microsoft game is basically going to PC, there's almost no point to buy an Xbox One except for just being able to play with friends. Which is the only reason I bought one, which I explained in my previous video. Okay. Point is, I hope Nintendo succeeds this time around. Because I want Nintendo to be back to an era of positivity. Because it's been way too negative over the last few years. And we haven't been able to enjoy the games. If the NX is good, doesn't have any screwball gimmicks, or at least gimmicks that will hurt the system. So like the gamepad, the problem with the gamepad wasn't the gamepad itself, it was the fact that it costed like $170 to include with the console. Like, the gamepad itself is basically just a Wii U Pro controller with a giant screen. And that screen can be useful, so it's not that big of a deal. The problem is that the gamepad is the reason why the NX why the Wii U costed so much. But the biggest thing that Miyamoto, I believe even him said they want to do with NX is make it affordable. If they can get like the NX to be $250 on like launch day, and they could bundle a game, the thing will fly off the shelves. Especially if they make like, okay, if I'll buy the NX like day one if there's like a Breath of the Wild NX bundle that has like a gold controller or something like that. Like if they have like a Zelda NX bundle, which I know for a fact they will have, that would fly off the shelves, because that's a reason for people to buy the system. There's a new Zelda game. Granted, that kind of screws over Wii U owners, including myself, that may have bought the console for Zelda, although the biggest reason I bought was for Smash Bros, and needless to say, I got my money's worth out of Smash Bros. Still am to this day, so that was worth it. But people that bought the system just for Zelda are kind of getting screwed over, because it's like, I could have just waited and been able to play the better, more powerful version with better graphics and stuff. Okay, I think we should cut off this NX part. Let's move on to something else. Point is, I hope the NX turns out well. If it's a lower price than the Wii U, which I'm sure it will be, so if they can get like a $250 price point and a Zelda bundle, I think that the console will fly off the shelves. But of course, this is Nintendo. They definitely have a history of doing a lot of stuff wrong, but at the same time, they can do a lot of stuff right. They can just get the price down enough. If they can get a good price and capable enough hardware, I think the NX will be a resounding success, or at least be a lot better than the Wii U. Like, at least 30 million units. At least. Okay. Let's move on to a different topic that isn't really Nintendo specific. Let's talk about the PC, which I kind of was already talking about, but let's talk about it more specifically. As I'm sure some of you have been noticing on Twitter, I've been kind of like, announcing like different, okay, I've been doing live streams recently. The problem with that is, I am basically a complete noob at live streaming. If you saw my recent one where I was going to play Overwatch, but I completely screwed something up and I had no idea what I was doing, and the game was lagging and it wasn't showing up on the screen, and it's like, yeah. I think the biggest reason why it was lagging is because I was trying to play it off the integrated GPU, which can play the game actually pretty decently at 720p low mode, which for an integrated graphics on a brand new game that just came out a few months ago, like Overwatch, that's pretty impressive. It gets 50 to 70 FPS consistently, never drops below that, so it's very, very playable. But on the live stream, it showed up at like 15 FPS. And I think the biggest reason why is because of CPU overhead. Because, as we all know, when you're trying to live stream, the CPU is the biggest part. It's trying to render the stream. So, when I get my graphics card, I can use NVIDIA Shadowplay. I think it has a new name now, but I don't know what the name. I think Shadowplay has a new name. I'm not sure, but I'm just gonna call it Shadowplay. NVIDIA Shadowplay basically is a way of recording or live streaming gameplay at 1080p up to like 4K even, with no lag, with no hit to the CPU like at all. So of course, when I get the graphics card, I'll be able to live stream games at 60 FPS, no problem. The CPU won't be the bottleneck. The graphics card will be the bottleneck at that point. But even then, point is, Shadowplay has very low overhead, and that's at least what I've seen advertised. Like, point is, Shadowplay is like a really nice way to like live stream your games, and that's what I'm going to be using. And that means I won't have that lag because right now the CPU has to render both the game and the live stream at the same time, which is probably why the game looks like it lags on the live stream, even though it runs fine on my end. But if I have the graphics card, then the CPU can focus solely on rendering the stream, and then of course, well, the graphics card will be all about the game, will be concentrating on the game and running that properly. So there won't be any lag on the stream, at least in theory. So the point is, I'm not going to be live streaming any games until I get the graphics card, because that's not happening on the integrated GPU. Even though the game runs fine when you're not streaming it, when you are streaming it, the CPU is working on too much at once. We're going to have to wait for the graphics card to come in before we do that. Anyways, let's talk about some stuff I want to do on the channel itself. Well, one, I do have one upcoming stream, the Level 5 New Heroes World live reaction stream. Yeah, remember that that Yokai, well, not Yokai Watch, but like that Level 5 thing that happened a little while ago? That was not World Vision. I might have confused some people. That was not World Vision. That was like a small pre-event. The big conference event is happening on the 27th. I'll be live streaming that. Assuming it's not insanely early in the... Actually, no, saying that is wrong because I woke up at 3 a.m. No, I woke up at 4 a.m. to live stream the other event. So, yeah. Well, the point is, I'll be live streaming that no matter what. So, look forward to that, I guess. So, I've actually already seen some people say they're looking forward to it, and I definitely am. They're going to be announcing a new Inazuma game and a new Level 5 and a new Level 5 IP, along with a new Layton game. Yokai Watch, by the way, don't expect anything Yokai Watch, or at least nothing big, because Hino himself has said they're going to be taking a long break from Yokai Watch after the third game comes out, which is coming out in a few days, by the way. So don't expect any new game announcements or anything new for localization. Just making that clear now. Don't get your hopes up, because I have already learned with Yokai Watch happens when you get your hopes up and then they are crushed. And I do not want that to happen again, so I'm going to save you from doing that. So don't get your hopes up for Yokai Watch stuff. But there is still a lot of cool level 5 stuff I care about, specifically Ni no Kuni 2, which we saw last at the PlayStation Experience event in 2015, which I actually have a live stream event of it buried somewhere on the channel. And needless to say, it has like a bunch of dislikes, and I know the reason why, because it's a very bad quality stream, because I just used my webcam. I didn't have my new computer built yet, so I just used the webcam, and it was pretty bad. But of course, this year's PlayStation Experience event, I'll be able to live stream, no problem, in perfect quality, so that won't be a problem at least. Anyways, Ni no Kuni 2 is my biggest excitement for the level 5 event, not anything else really. But of course I am still going to watch the entire thing, I mean, why wouldn't I? You never know what Hino might have in store. Anyways. Videos. There's a lot of video series I want to bring back. One is Wombo Combo Wednesdays. Yeah, anyone remember that series? I think I might have talked about this in my previous video, but just in case I haven't or you didn't watch it, Wombo Combo series was basically a series where me and my friend Dylan would play like Smash Bros. Competitively, and we were supposed to like upload that and do commentary and stuff. But the problem is that I didn't have a not a graphics card. I don't have a capture card, so I kind of abandoned that series. There are a few small videos, like 2 videos, one for the 3DS version, one for the Wii U version, buried somewhere on the channel. I think actually no, it's not even buried. Go to my playlist. There should be an old playlist from like months and months ago. It says Wombo Combo Wednesdays on it, and I think it specifically says in the description that this series is on hiatus till I get a capture card, and that's true. Once I get myself an Elgato, I'm going to bring back Wombo Combo Wednesdays, and I'm going to be streaming a lot more Nintendo games, or at least, well, that's what I'm mainly going to stream. I might stream some, well, all the games I would want to stream on Xbox or on PC. Like, if I wanted to play Battlefield 1, would I get that on Xbox One or PC? PC, obviously. That Battlefield's always been a PC, mainly a PC game. I don't know, it's like, the point is when I get the capture card, I'm going to be able to, I can do other games like, Smash Bros, Splatoon, etc. Who knows? Maybe even some games on Xbox. Maybe. We'll see by the time that happens. Although at that point the gaming PC will be finished, so I'll just be playing games on PC anyway. Anyways. Also, remember the price of localization? Yeah, I think I announced that months ago, and I was gonna do like one for everything. Yeah, that may or may not happen at this point because I'm kind of too lazy to work on it. If I do it, I'll probably get help because I'm kind of too late. And plus, I don't have the software, at least at the moment, so I might need some help with someone like HG Hydra or something like that if I want to get that done. Also, I've been wanting to do a video for a long time about how Yokai Watch 3 will not come to the US, and I don't say that in a good way. I want it to come to the US. But there's a lot of reasons why I don't think Yokai Watch 3 will come to the US, and I want to explain that on a video. But I have the format of it in my head. I can see it right now. I just have to, actually make it. Once again, I don't have like any animation programs like Adobe Premiere or anything like that yet, so we can't really do that yet. So I'm not going to be able to do that many, super enhanced videos with like animation or anything like that for a while. I do want to get another intro card because, of course, now that I'm called Logan589XP, I can't use the old Nintendo act, like, with like the different clips and like that last part at the end with Keita like doing like summoning Jibanyan on the Type 0. Watch that again. That intro that kind of looks bad. Yeah, we can't use that one anymore, of course, because that's not the correct because that one says Nintendo Act 8 on it. So we're gonna have to make a new intro that HG Hydra will probably help me make. Just being realistic, that's probably going to happen. Because I want to be able to make some kind of animated intro. Not something super ridiculously insane, but, just like a little 5-second clip would be enough. I don't know, like, he has like a little 5-second thingy where, like, Koma-san walks across the screen and it's like, Mongi! And then, like, the logo comes down for, like, 5 seconds. Like, something, like, super simple like that. I don't want a super long intro. I just want a little, like, basic, like, 5-10 second thingy that I'm sure wouldn't be that hard to make. Anyways, so aside from that, what's coming in the future? Well, at this point, I'm just waiting for stuff for Nintendo. At this point, I don't have anything particularly super big planned, except for maybe uploading more Yokai Watch Puni tracks. I still have to upload some more. But that's really about it, honestly. There's nothing really super big. If anything, it'll just be the level 5 stream, Puni tracks, and that's really about it. I don't have my capture card yet, and I don't have the graphics card, so I can't really do that much on YouTube, unfortunately, at the moment. Except for doing some discussions every now and then, like this one. But, yeah. So once again, sorry for the lack of videos. I've just been kind of lazy, and plus there's not really a ton of stuff to cover or really talk about from Nintendo, or at least anything I want to talk about. Because right now, we're just all waiting for the NX. That's pretty much it right now. That's basically all I'm doing. I'm waiting for a capture card, the graphics card, and NX info, or something like that. And that's really about it. So there's not going to be a ton of videos from me, probably. I'm not saying I'm not like leaving YouTube or anything like that, of course, but so, you know, there's not going to be a ton of videos. I mean, like what, it's been like a week or something since I've made a video? Yeah, it's been quite some time. So, yeah, I've been kind of slacking off. Point is, yeah, there's not going to be a ton of videos. Sorry about that. I just don't really have a ton of stuff to cover that I really want to make. Although, of course, if there is something that then I will talk about it on my Twitter account. I will announce it on Twitter, so if you want to stay up to date for info on this channel, or collaborations, or really just anything that involves YouTube, or Twitch, or live streams, you know, stuff like that, then I would definitely suggest you follow me on Twitter. The link will be in the description. And yeah, that's about it. Once again, sorry for the lack of videos, but yeah. And I know this video is like almost an hour long. It's like 50 minutes, I think. This video is like almost 50 minutes long. Jeez, that's a long video. Anyways, with that being said, this is Logan589XP, signing out, and thanks for watching.